What we have here is a Kluge letterpress. It's built somewhere in the 40s. This is old. What I'm going to do is show you how to set up for a score job and just the basic instructions and operations. One thing I want to go over is real quick just some of the things that it does. This is your valve for the vacuum. I always leave it on. I thought it's important that I tell you that. I never turn it off. And also something that I never turn off either is the, I guess, impression. People leave it like that and then and when it's like that, it'll just go and feed and nothing will happen. And they do that and it goes on impression. So I personally always leave it on impression, never take it off. And that being said, oh, and another thing, never ever reach your hands inside of it while it's running. You can lose your hand. It can be dangerous if you're not paying attention. Another thing I do is I put these zip ties on here to just in case you get a little bit too close. Those zip ties kind of tell you that you're getting close and you really don't want to be wearing loose clothing, jackets, or anything like that around this while it's going. Having said that, let's get started. Okay, I'm going to go over a couple of points before you see the video of me actually setting this up and running it, because there's a lot of things in there that aren't really explained, but just seeing it happen explains a lot to you. These are what you use to guide the paper to center it. You can see right here, you go by this and this. There's all kinds of marks on here where you can figure out where center is. And you set your stops normally about 12 points away from the edge. You need to get you a ruler with points on it because everything in setting up the letterpress is done in points. And you can move. You want these to be right at about here, about a ½ inch or so, because what's going to happen is these are going to be, they're going to come right down and you want them to miss this. You cannot have it touch that. If it hits it, you're going to knock it off and the paper is just going to fall down into the abyss. And you also want to have a mark right where your paper is going to hit. So whenever you need to start it, you put one there and you're good to go. So you're going to see this video of me actually setting it up, and there everything's pretty much explained for you. Okay, we've got the feeding part taken care of. Now this is it's what's called the chase. It's where we put the perforation blades in, the score bars in, number machines. The last job that was run on here was a number job, so you can see the number machine was right there. So what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna show you something too. This is what you're gonna see this in other videos that I do. This paper is all it is the packaging from a 11 by 17 package of paper. On the inside it's wax paper, so I save them. I use them all the time. And I used this one to make a template for this thing. So I just set it down. I'm good to go. Now you're going to see, here's my score bar. And I'm going to set it up right in the middle. You can see right here it's got a mark for center. This is old as dirt. It's actually been broken and re-welded. And yeah, that's how we do it. It's the way I roll. Okay, here's the chase with the score bar somewhat centered. And what I do, which is maybe a little bit different than a lot of other people, is I put 2 locks in here. So you can kind of fine adjust it. And these locks tighten it. I don't know if you can tell it. As you turn the crank, it expands and it pushes all these blocks together, all the furniture, and you got your score bar right there. Some people call it a score blade, and it's ready to rock and roll. And the next thing, I'm going to put it in here, but I have to change this out. I have to change this paper out to give it a good score. Okay, here we have the chase installed. I wanted to put a video of me doing it, but it's impossible to hold the camera and only use one hand with that. I need 2 hands. So it's in there. What you do is you set it down into these 2 little almost clips or whatever, and then you lift this up and you fasten it down. So here we go. Here's this. Okay. You can see here the score is not anywhere near what we need it to be. So I'm going to repack it and start again. Okay, I've repacked it. I put 2 sheets of paper in here, and it's 110-pound index to kind of lift this up. There's other ways you can lift it up, but I've already got it set to where I can put a number machine anywhere on here or on here, and it won't crush the number machine. So when you get it like that, you leave it. So from here, I'm just lifting it up with this paper, and I will get it started. Hopefully it's going to pick it up. No, it didn't. Okay, let's look at this score. Score looks pretty good. And fold it. Folds right on it. Yeah. Score's alright. I wasn't real happy with the depth of that score, how heavy it was. So I wanted to increase that. I wanted to make it a lot heavier score, a lot deeper into the paper. So what I did is I added this paper here, and that's going to bring this up a little bit more, and the score blade will go deeper into the paper. What I did to go with that is I added these, because whenever you have a deeper score, the chances of the edges of the ends of the paper flipping up are a lot higher, and then these won't get it. These won't grab it correctly, and then you got a big mess on your hands. So this is what it's like with that. And I do want to mention there's another way that people do this. I'm sure it's going to be in the comments. This is called Matrix. I don't know if it's expensive or not. I never buy it, but people use it. They like it, and it gives you a good score. I don't like to spend extra money if I don't want to, so I do the paper. So here's that. I feel like that's a better score with paper. And there's a lot of things that I probably skipped over, a lot of settings and stuff like that, and I'll get to that with more videos. Until then, thanks for watching my video.